26 movie reviews from Piff 2025 lineup, where I will be ranking them at the end based on their categories. These are the movies which I've already seen when the lineup was announced, putting some spotlight on some lesser known films that you should keep in your watch list or avoid them. The first film is Armand. This is one of the best films in the world competition this year. The actors shine in their roles, especially the lead actress. Her performance elevates the movie to the next level, and also shout out to the supporting cast as well. These actors were supported by an engaging screenplay and dialogues as well. This is a kind of an hard film to sit through, but it talks about so many things on how we form judgment, how influence works in both ways, creating preconceived notions and biases based on lack of evidence, and using past actions to justify the present issues, and how such sensitive matters are not properly dealt with by hearing arguments on both sides as attacks begin even before the argument begins, how lies can affect someone, and how when the whole society is turned on you with silly absurd rules because the innocent and correct people are pushed into the corner because they want to have a civil and thoughtful conversation, and how people don't want to delve into the gray areas and just want everything black and white as it makes their thinking easy. The film has so many layers attached to it that can be talked for hours. A lot is left for the audience to imagine and decipher as the runtime goes by, and symbolically the ending is too good. The movie shifts its tone in the middle, which is a good idea considering how the character expresses herself. Allegations and hatredness can lead to such extreme behaviors, and how a situation without knowing the facts can be questioned and justified according to your needs to make it believable. A must watch for its performance and screenplay and dialogues, and how don't judge a book by its cover is the absolute quote for this film. The next film is Ghostlight, one of the best films in the global cinema lineup. Really good acting performances from the whole cast, amazing blend of fiction and real life. It has good drama and emotional connections attached to it that are heartfelt with so many emotions. How a man's personal and professional life are in turmoil, and how his family is also dealing with such a big event that he is having a meltdown and trying to understand and feel and express his inner thoughts through theatre play by acting in a play of Romeo and Juliet, and how this play helps him and his family in such a way that the play imitates his real life. There are no unnecessary scenes. It has got really nice pacing, and the staging of the scenes is really good. The standout are the actors and dialogues that really bring this film to life. There is limited comedy, but it works so well to make you laugh, and emotional scenes hit you hard as well. His relationship with his daughter is amazingly done, and how theatre becomes his safe space to express what he truly feels and gives him a new perspective. Screenplay delves into the themes with such sensitivity, and we get to see a point of view from each person on this topic and how everyone processes things differently. A truly well-made, engaging film as the drama holds you till the end. Can't talk much about the plot as it will lead to spoilers, but this film is worth watching and you will have a good emotional time with it. The next film is Stormskerry Maja, one of the best films of the year. This film is a 3-hour epic romantic period saga. The actors do a fantastic job, and you will easily connect with their journey emotionally throughout decades. The lead actress is a force to be reckoned with. She is the heart and soul of this film. She has a strong presence in her madness and learns to stand up for herself and her family, and is very determined, optimistic, and very curious as well. She does not fear anybody and learns to make hard decisions on her own. Her madness is supported by calm and collective husband who believes in her ideas, thoughts, and craziness, and they are a strong anchor in each other's life. He teaches her to be independent of societal norms and tells her to learn and write and stand up for herself, while she provides him with emotional support, strategic approach, and protects her family at all cost. This film goes through the happiness and sadness of a family over the course of decades, while in the backdrop of war and feminism, there are such beautiful scenes where we see her rise and fall and rise again without giving up on life. You will truly connect with their love story, and each of them have a set of beliefs and they make compromises and understand each other with immense love. It goes to show how you only need a few people to believe in you and support you along the way so that you can be yourself and be free to make your own decisions. The ending is hard-hitting and emotional in its way to express how a woman is equal to a man and how she has a strong sense of learning along the way. Without the performances, this film would have been a drag, but the edit moves with a sweet flow. The pacing is really smooth. You witness their everyday life, and that's what makes it special. The chemistry is beautiful. It's a love story that goes through every good and bad days and how they withstand it together as well as alone. The writing is enhanced by its direction, and that has been enhanced by the performances. Cinematography and sound design are amazing, and all the other technical sides are also really good. If you want to take a deep dive in a 3-hour engaging love story saga, this film is for you. The next film is The Second Act. This film's synopsis and the eventual movie are so different that it will surprise you for sure. If you go in blindly without looking at anything else but the synopsis like I did, you are in for a huge surprise. The twists and turns in this dark comedic tale are truly something to think about, blurring the lines between fiction and reality and often resorting to commentary and subverting expectations, asking us, is reality real or is fiction really fictional, or it is upside down. The actors do an amazing job as it feels so natural when they act. There are long takes in the movie with some provocative dialogues and clever comedy with hypocrisy in each character. Obviously, I can't talk much about the plot or the scenes as it will spoil the suspense. The pacing is good. It has some really good scenes that are enough to trigger sensitive people. It talks about system, hierarchy, lack of empathy, reality, and tech or taking over modern world, etc., etc. If you want to see something different, this is it. Director tries to blend his script within a script and it works perfectly. At the end, it takes a philosophical route, but the film gives us something to think about, and the actors really ate this film and left no breadcrumbs behind. The next film is a documentary called Witches. This is one of the best documentaries of the year. It shows and explains about mental health issues that women go through after childbirth and what type of horrors they have to face within themselves and even from the surroundings. This is explained with giving direct connections to the witches of the past who were executed hundreds of years before, and how their lives and today's modern life are very much connected in some shape or form. It takes a deep dive into the dark thoughts a mother can have about her child as well as herself, and how there is a broken system and stigma around this topic. It shows how you need good hospitals and doctors that can treat you and understand you well, how you need support groups and people around you that have gone through similar experiences who can help you get out of it. Those people with a kind hearts that truly understand you, that you are not alone. It's a story of a strong woman fighting her struggles day by day, trying to find answers and solutions, and slowly and steadily overcoming her issues. This is a huge topic that needs immediate attention, as not everyone is lucky enough to get help when they need it, and the taboo surrounding it needs to be washed away, and there should be an open discussion about it. It does not shy away from going into some dark territories so that the audience understand how severe it gets. Witches is a pure honest attempt in showcasing how you don't need to remain silent and suffer alone because you think you will be stigmatized and tortured and shamed in public because you are dealing with these issues. You really need to come out and try and get good professional help. Find people who truly care about you and don't suffer in silence, as deep down you want to save yourself and your child and family from the worst things you could have ever imagined. Witches had to go through judgment and biases in the past, and even in today's times women with such issues have to go through. There has been only one change, where the witches were killed back in the day. Now either they do it themselves. If no proper help is given on time, the fear of being judged need to be removed from people's mind, and other people also should not judge too early. On the technical side, the edit of this is fantastic, intercutting between interviews, voiceovers, clips of movies, mixed it with reality. Every second of it is worth it, as the pacing is really good and you will feel the urge to know more about the mental health issues. After watching this, I had tears in my eyes while watching this, and it gave me a whole new perspective to think on. This documentary is for everyone to watch who are at the age of understanding such deep and complex issues. On a side note, in this documentary we have a surprise guest who has been part of the MCU and is a superhero. When that person arrived, I was shocked and in disbelief for a good minute or two. I will not reveal who it is, and I hope you guys also don't Google it to spoil your surprise, and I'm extremely happy they spoke their hearts out. So it is a must watch documentary for everyone. The next film is Black Tea. There is no chemistry between the two lovers. There has to be a form of connection between the moments of sensualism, which are very limitedly created when only talked about the tea, and the subplots and supporting characters don't add or generate any compelling detail. There is more interest in the atmosphere of the market. The characters are superficial and the script should have gone deeper into their lives and choices, but it is treated on the surface level. You just wait for this film to end so that you can forget and move on what made you watch this film in the first place, and actors felt artificial in this film. The next film is A Traveler's Needs. There is no point to this film. If you want to dig deep, you need a 7-foot drilling machine, a woman who uses different techniques to teach French, and these scenes are repeated again and again, trying to show how different she is from the rest, and she lives in the absolute present and blank moments. Film is unnecessarily too long. There are better films to express what you truly feel when doing something and how you get attached to someone because you don't get that love from your near ones, and how lonely you feel in another country. An awkward conversation cringe fest that is every introvert's nightmare to look at. A forgetful film with very long scenes that could have been a short film. The next film is Faruk. This film talks about old age, love for home, betrayal, shady business construction practices, attachment, and how people view you when you are old. This film is very slow in exploring such topics. The edit is unnecessarily long and could have easily been a short film. They touch upon some things which are interesting but are abandoned for the stuff that never generate any connection with us. The subplots of his daughter filming him for her film could have been avoided, as she is on the phone with him for the rest of the movie. This film had potential, but the script had loose ends and will be easily forgotten in the end. Only the lead actor had played his age really good. Otherwise, there is no emotional connection with the story and can be avoided to save your time. The next film is The Best Century of My Life. Why do you need to know your family heritage to know who you actually are? And you should love the people who took care of you and loved you, and not the ones who ignored you. This is the basic theme of this film. It has beautiful dialogues, amazing actors, especially the old man actor who is the heart of the movie, and you will have a blast with him. The pacing is really good. You will have a constant smile and also an emotional impact. The comedy is also really good and simple, and it makes you laugh as well. The curiosity and life experiences makes you want to do certain things that once you enjoyed it. There is a connection with the characters with certain details. A sweet film for those looking to find answers of who they really are and where they come from. That info is deeply emotional, and how after all these years you feel so much from your past memories and the things you once did that you cannot do it again because of your age, and for once you want to live your life again for one last time through your young friend and want to show him how he is making mistakes by not appreciating what he has in the present. A truly must-watch film to enjoy love and life. The next film is The Damned. This is a very different kind of a war film where you see how a group of soldiers are traveling, setting up camps, being constantly aware of their surroundings, having food, hunting and communicating with each other. It is like a behind the scenes movie of the normal days of the soldiers. It shows the contrasting views between an experienced soldier versus the boys who just joined the army, on how they view the war, country and land, wherein the boys are filled with optimism contrary to the experienced soldiers who view the war in a different way and give them suggestions to hold on to their beliefs as they grow with the war. The film does not have any big scale war sequences. It is a small troop that tries to survive in a losing battle while waiting in an isolated area to fight a war they don't even want to be a part of, and shows how surprising it can get not knowing when the enemies are coming. It is a slow burn movie with lots of dialogues and silences filled with a small fight where you don't even see the enemies' faces. The next film is Out of Season. The actors do a really good job in this movie. Their chemistry is really sweet, especially the female actor is the standout in this film, even though both the leads are opposite to each other and being lovers in the past. When they meet again, they project happiness and wealth on the surface level, but deep down they are sad, lonely and disappointed with themselves, wishing they could have done something different with more courage. Their past reconnects and they find a little inner peace and comfort with each other after so many years. It shows how insecurities and selfishness and some other factors play a role in shaping up their relationship, and will they end up together or not is the mystery that you have to solve while watching it. When the film gets emotional, it kind of hits you too if you buy into their relationship. Cinematography wise, there are some good shots of wide angle and close-ups, and there is a lot of slow burn, especially at the first 25 minutes. You will feel it is like a torture, but if you survive it, the journey is a good one. There is a lot of stillness and silence, and the film could have edited a lot of scenes to make it short and smoother edit. The next film is Crossing. It is one time decent watch movie. The movie wants to say a lot about self-discovery, missing someone, mistakes, trans life, a new city and more. The screenplay is packed with so many themes that it goes through ups and downs but makes it an okayish flow. The actors do try their best to make this film engaging for us, and they succeed it, keeping it till the end. The last 30 minutes save this film and give a new perspective to the lead actress, and the runtime could have been smaller. The next film is Omen. The strongest aspect of this film are its actors. Their performances are the standout highlight in this uneven screenplay. The film talks about traditions, superstitions, family, trauma, curses, family structure, acceptance, denial, realization, beliefs, getting out of society and coming back in with a deep sense of anxiety. The second and third act of the film have its moments when they are intimate with the core family and you feel connected to them in a deeper sense, and how as a child these traditions affect you, and even it breaks your family apart when you lose everything to it. Due to its uneven editing, the runtime sometimes can feel stretched out, but the emotional moments make up for it. The next film is Dying. It showcases a family and the son in the family taking the center stage as people around him like friends, girlfriend, ex all play a metaphorical part in the dying of that person. It shows how a troubled childhood and difficult parents can affect a person to stay distant during their old age and difficulties, and how there is no love, just hatred, distance and distaste towards one another. They can't even cry properly for the ones they have lost. How an artist is going crazy for his music piece and he takes his work to the extreme by performing the act in real life. How he feels his music is garbage, and this is coupled with the knowledge that he has mental health issues, and how his actions trigger that music to be performed at the highest level, which metaphorically helps the events in the music as well as his friend's life. How the subplot with his sister shows us how she can be disconnected with the world and just want to drown in alcohol but not love from her own, and when she gets love and has been abandoned, she loses herself again. Dying literally represents the end of relationships, people, loved ones, and art, and at the end gives birth to a new relationship and art as the cycle continues, and how you feel connected to the people who understand you, or else you form a connection with alcohol. The sister stands out in her isolation and addiction. The pacing is relatively good and it has got good actors that makes this film connect with us with their relationships. The next film is Without Air, hands down one of the best of the lineup. The lead actress is phenomenal and is the star of this movie. She really owns the screen with her quiet performance, supported by some good supporting actors. It has a strong edit, the BGM is really good and the framing is really metaphorical. The lead actress is an exceptional teacher, which is very rare to get nowadays. Her methods, understanding and communicating to the students are different and easy to get go, and when things go out of control, those people supporting her also give up on the powers that needs to be satisfied. Some give up altogether, others rebel against her. She stands for her values and fights it alone. She loses people one by one, and it shows how much power a teacher can hold when sticking to the rules, and how one becomes powerless when independent thinking is encouraged, and how other teachers who already hate her before the incident get the chance to destroy her and also remove their anger on the ones who support her with unfair assessment. The scenes are compared to her classroom where there is space for thinking. It is so rare to see a good teacher get some freedom to teach in her own way, and when she does, only some of them survive for that long. The film is brilliant in setting up the mood, and the shots move when she is in total control but are static when she is not for the majority of the time, and she suffocates under the pressure as even the people in power don't even want to understand her side of the argument to suit their agenda. She also has to deal with her personal life, which was a good decision to showcase, and she tries that. The incident never lets her students get affected by it. Without Air literally showcases how one has to fight till the end until there is no air support, as you die under the pressure of authority and agenda. The next movie is a documentary called Against the Tide. This documentary talks about the modern and ancestral approach of fishing. The old and the new ways clash in their ideas and approach, how climate change and pollution has affected the waters, how increasing costs lay a burden on the fishing families, and how they have to deal with their families and their huge problems, and how it affects them deeply when something that is close to their hearts have to be taken away from them for a greater purpose, how the position between the two different types of families having some similarities and obvious differences, and how they try to come together even though they have difference in opinions, how their families fear when they go to their work in the sea during troubling times, how the overall global and local fishing markets affect their approach and push them to take risk and save the only thing they know, that is to go and catch fishes, how they try to overcome their problems, and how their family helps them to stay strong emotionally. When modern techniques challenges the ancestral approach, your faith in gods is called upon, the fear latches onto your mind and you try your best to overcome it as responsibility increases, how one has to follow the rules set by your community and surrounding authorities even though others don't necessarily follow it, and even the modern ways have its own set of challenges and risk attached to it. We form a connection with these two families as we understand them when we take a deep dive into their lives. The editing and pacing maintains a steady flow which keeps you hooked till the end, and how a new life can bring happiness as well as sorrows, and you do everything in your power to overcome those sorrows. You fight your way against the tides of life. Next movie is 3 Kilometers to the End of the World. It is a hard watch as the acting by the lead actor is really good. You will instantly feel for him as things go out of control in his life and the horrors he has to face from the society and even his own parents. The film talks about the stigma on LGBTQ+, how certain members of the society use power and corruption to suppress the matter by putting pressure of fear of shame and abuse as you are made to compromise for just being true to yourself, how the ones close to you treat you like a prisoner in your own house, stripping out your personality as other forces try to cover it up, and the family shows lack of empathy and no support as they are not trying to understand who you truly are in real life with the fears of being judged by everyone. The film has some really nice framing and it has got a good edit and pacing to it. On the script level, it is generic at best, but the lead actor pulls the film on its own. The next film is a documentary called as Godard Cinema. This documentary is about the legendary director Godard and his view on his filmography till 1990s. It does not cover his whole life but only till 1990s and his outbreak film Breathless. It briefly touches upon his past and goes into a good detail into how his personal life was, how his views on life, politics, world and cinema shaped up his movies, and how unpredictable he was. If you are familiar with his work, this documentary will be a treat for you, and if you are not, it will encourage you to look into his filmography. The documentary intercuts between how the outside world viewed him and how he changed French cinema versus his own inner turmoil with his behavior, looking at his life in a different way. The next film is Caught by Tides. Caught by Tides is a mixed bag for me. This film is a documentary and a fiction hybrid of the changes in China over the years and how it is indirectly connected to our two main leads. The film takes a different approach in its edit that sometimes spends more time in presenting the transformation of China and its people that it will forget to even mention the core plot of the movie. If you enjoy a blend of fiction and non-fiction where one takes over the other totally, then this film is for you. The lead female actor is the soul of this film. Without her, the film would not have been an intriguing watch, especially the last 30 minutes where there are some scenes with her that will connect to you. If you have the patience to withstand the remaining runtime, it is like a small reward for the time you spend in this slow-paced film. It certainly showcases how a woman who was desperate to find her lover has overcome that feeling of neediness, dependence and anger and is moving forward with the ever-changing country. Her power is emotionally charged, filled with loneliness and sadness that gives her a complete arc from her lover not wanting her in his life to coming back to her. The film often drifts away from this story completely, which rarely generates any interest. You feel the need that let's just focus on their relationship, and it affects the mood and soul of the film. It does have a range in its music of China, and I liked the acting of the actress as she was the one who made me stay till the end of the film, where she shines in those little moments. So here are my rankings for the Oscar nominated films. The first place goes to The Substance, the absolute masterpiece in each department, a must watch for its theatrical experience. The second place goes to The Girl with the Needle, good acting and good cinematography. The third place goes to The Room Next Door, which is the closing film of the festival. Even though it was not nominated for the Oscars, watch it for the two brilliant actors having back and forth on life and death. The fourth place goes to Emilia Perez. Watch it just for two reasons: Zoe Saldana's performance and just out of curiosity on how it got 13 Oscar nominations. The fifth place goes to The Seed of the Sacred Fig for its good direction. For world competition, the first place goes to Armand. Second place goes to 3 Kilometres to the End of the World. Third place goes to Black Tea. Fourth place goes to A Traveler's Needs. For global cinema, the first place goes to Ghostlight. Second place goes to Stormskerry Maja. The third place goes to Without Air. Fourth place goes to The Best Century of My Life. Fifth place goes to The Second Act. The sixth place goes to Dying. Seventh place goes to Out of Season. Eighth place goes to Omen. Ninth place goes to Crossing. And the 10th place goes to The Damned. 11th place goes to Caught by Tides. And the 12th place goes to Faruk. For documentary, the first place goes to Against the Tide. Second place goes to Witches. Third place goes to Godard Cinema. From the Indian film lineup, I have seen only two films. The first place goes to Level Cross for its good script, good acting and good direction. The second place goes to Kozhipannai Chelladurai for its good acting. So which films are you excited to watch at the Piff 2025? Write down in the comments below. Please like and share this video with more people and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. You can watch other videos over here as well. So thank you for watching. See you again in the next video. Till then, bye bye. See you. Take care.